Voices 4 with Simon Vorster. Transformative and empowering, curious and wondrous. When one wishes to pause time for reflection, time continues its way. What we remember is just a snapshot of that event, something that made an impression and prompted us to respond or react based on our level of awareness. All hidden intentions or events that have yet to see the light sometimes emerge suddenly, violently, or with no notice, triggering reactions. If one is aware, these reactions that emerge from our psyche can be not only recognized but also seen in a new light and felt in the present moment, as the impressions can be released not in our mind but within our emotional body. The great contributions of Carl Jung, Gabor Maté, Jeffrey Wolf Green, and Ra Uru Hu are gifts to humanity because they highlighted in specific ways how we are conditioned by subtleties that happen and are embedded in our body, often protecting ourselves from confronting them because we're not ready to meet our soul's journey. Revealing the light and confronting those triggers/fears is a path that requires not only practice but also guidance from someone who's also walking the walk and not just talking the talk. When I met Simon Vorster back in 2017 and decided not only to have a reading but also to learn everything I could from his knowledge of evolutionary astrology, a paradigm that came alive through Jeffrey Wolf Green, Simon also introduced me to human design, where my brain expanded into a dimension my consciousness was ready to receive. Over the course of 4 years plus, my commitment under his mentorship and transmissions opened many routes I am very happy to have explored. My mom, as a pedagogue, taught me to honor the people before me and those who have served me by facilitating knowledge, giving me their valuable time, and channeling their wisdom through the processes needed. My soul has been in a very different state since August 2017, and I had the pleasure to engage in a beautiful dialogue with a human being whose mentoring empowers those who are committed to themselves to be free. Thank you, Simon. Enjoy. Quote, "The collective unconscious appears to consist of mythological motifs of primordial images, for which reason the myths of all nations are its real exponents. In fact, the whole of mythology could be taken as a sort of projection of the collective unconscious. We can see this most clearly if we look at the heavenly constellations, whose originally chaotic forms are organized through the projections of images. This explains the influence of the stars as asserted by astrologers. These influences are nothing but unconscious, introspective perceptions of the collective unconscious." End of quote. Carl Jung. Side note, as with everything that has influence, it means it has power over you. Astrology doesn't have power over you. You got to learn the language so then you can empower yourself using it as a tool. Okay, catching up with each other, Simon touches on rewilding and delves into the mystical connection with the cosmos. Join me as I share my path of setting boundaries, emotional awareness, and the value of authenticity in personal relationships and community building. Tune in for insights and wisdom on transformation through mentoring relationships. Okay, there's a link to the video, and then I have this little plugin thing to do again. My book is an experience. The pre-sale of my book is still going. I thank all of you who have pre-ordered the book, those intending to buy it, and the curious as well. Mary Butlug and I are delighted to know that our creative work could soon be in your hands. Self-publishing is the most badass, second house, self-sustaining endeavor I can undertake. By sharing my journey of empowerment, I must show up creatively, sharing my voice without shame, with the courage that takes the realm to reign and to be sovereign. Order your copy here. Link. Okay, the first footnote talks about Simon. It says, Simon, together with his partner Jennifer Langston, runs the amazing School of Evolutionary Astrology, Link, and Human Design, creating unique courses that integrate these paradigms with the necessary tools for emotional integration. Second link is my book, the upcoming book, The Nature of My Reality. Everything I Need Is in My Body is set to launch, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. Guys, have a great week. I'm not going to give advice, but this is what I'm doing, just to tell you. I'm not really paying attention a lot to what's going outside, but I'm just very focused on creation. Very, very focused on how am I going to create my day every day to be the most meaningful days of all days. Take good care. Much love. Bye.